time. We are back.
This is
Story. Once upon a time, you know already.
Time.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. This is Chi and this is Uti. Uti have been sharing his story with us back to back of his experience with pain of losing a spouse. And if you've been watching us, I'm happy that you've been following through all this while. We are so grateful. If today is your first time, welcome. We are all about love, marriage, parenting, and everything in between. And we are super excited that you're with us now. So in this episode, he's going to share things you need to do practically to help you through the period of grief. If today is your first time, you have missed a lot of the stories, so you need to go back, rewind 5 videos back and catch all the grooves. Rewind. Yes.
Welcome back. So, as she said, things you need to do to overcome your grief. Now, grief, most times people have this grief when they lose a loved one, and for me, I'm going to share it based on my personal experience and what I did to overcome it. So if you are connected to something like that or something similar, you can
because we all have different experiences.
Exactly.
And the people you may lose might be different from who he lost.
Exactly. So, it really matters the relationship. The relationship you have with the person you lose actually would determine how you feel.
Yeah.
For instance, maybe you lose a sibling. The feeling is different from losing a spouse, from losing a parent, from losing, But the point is that there is grief at some point, and what really is the thing you could do? The first thing I would say you do when you are faced in such a situation is, first, you need to identify your pain points. What is that thing that is painful to you for losing that person, or in that your grief?
So the pain in the grief.
You need to identify it. For me, my pain in the grief was the companion and the assistant. When I looked at the balancing the assistant, I tried getting nannies to come and assist in doing certain things, and I realized that the assistance that I was having from my spouse cannot be likened to the one you are getting from a nanny, because a nanny is an employee, is coming to work. So you see, it now blew up another aspect, which was a financial support that I was getting from my spouse, indirectly or directly. When I say indirectly, it means your spouse could have been helping you do something you would have need to be paying somebody to do. Then directly is she actually earning and also supporting in paying some other bills
that you didn't even bother
yourself about. All those things that you buy for children, changing of children's clothes and all those things. Man, if you have lost a spouse, come, let me counsel you. I must say it. If you have lost a loved one, you need to come to me. Let me counsel you. I keep saying this. I could give you an opportunity to have a one-on-one meeting with me, maybe through Zoom, maybe an online meeting, but whatever. I could give you one-on-one time so that we speak and find a way to solving your problem.
So you send us an email. There's an email on this channel. You can send us an email and then we can fix an appointment with you and him.
Alright, in continuation, I've mentioned you identifying your pain.
The pain in the grief.
And that pain could be companion, could be assistance, it could be financial, having that shortfall. Then for me, having identified those things, the next thing I did was to redress my step back and ask myself, what is the roadmap? How am I going to get these things solved. Like when I found out that there was no companion, that was when I told myself the truth. Guy, you have to remarry. Initially, I said, like 2 years into this, I told myself, I'm not going to remarry. I married 3 years after. But 2 years into it, I told myself, I'm not going to remarry. I'm just going to hit myself. So imagine at the age of 36, just being single with 4 children. Do you think by 45 I would still be alive? Because I've heard a lot of stories.
If God wills.
If God wills. I've heard a lot of stories of people who lost their spouses, especially men, when they lose their spouse and they pack their children to go and give their in-laws to look after them, or leave their children with their parents to look after them, then they begin to go into drinking.
But you were quite strong. I mean, you took on you took on the children and took all of them to the baby.
It was a decision.
Some men would have still taken maybe the older ones, left the babies for maybe a mom-in-law or a mother or somebody. He handled them all together.
The truth is that the in-laws, the parents' in-laws would do perfect if you leave the children for them. But I must tell you that it will not be as a parent who is focused and determined on how he wants to raise his children. Like for me, there is a way I want my children to smell. When I say smell, there is a way I want my children. I want them to depict me. That's why I use the word smell.
I remember what he told me that was part of the things that made me feel like, okay, I think I'll consider this marriage thing. He said, I want to raise my children to be what?
Independent children. I can't forget that.
He kept saying it, and I said, I want my children to be independent. And I'm like, okay. So it was an honor that he felt like I had what it took to join him to make them.
You were already a frontier of trying to get people to independence. Your story has been a story of independence.
And today they are doing quite well. All of them have found at least their talent and things and how they can monetize it. They are so business ready that it is amazing. And even with life skills, they've done, they've improved a lot. Glory to God.
Yeah, all thanks to God. So, the next thing you need to do, as I said, is the steps that you take. How long and how do you position yourself? Where do you go to? How do you get the right people to interact with? Then, number 3 is expect the unexpected. When you are grieving, you might think that other people around you are feeling what you are feeling. My dear, life is personal. Your pain is your pain. Every other person who is doing things the way you want them to do to you is only sympathizing with you. And it is not permanent. Because everybody, as I would always say, and I quote my HOD as a then, he told me during the time of grief, he said, if you go around the street and ask people about their pain and their grief, my brother, you will be shocked at what people are going through. And Absolutely. They are not telling you. Sure. So your own should be your own is your own so in the actual sense.
You hold your own like handbag.
Exactly. Every other person is holding their own. So don't even look at people and begin to wish, I wish my situation is like this.
I'll be seeking for pity.
And this is a general principle in life. Not
Sorry.
Not only when you are in grief. Yeah. It is a general principle. You should know that everybody has their own problem. So focus is another thing that will help you, in the process of overcoming that pain. You have to critically say, this is so. What you do is look at the goal. What is the thing that you are looking at gaining? Like for me, my goal was, okay, in this pain, if I pass on, or if I'm no longer in the picture, will I be able to achieve what I want these children to be? I actually may not have a hand in what they will become, but I think I'm a vehicle into driving them. So my goal was that they need to succeed. The things where I could not reach in life, they need to reach there.
So that the story of losing their
mom will
make sense.
Exactly, because if they lose their mom, Then, peradventure, they lose their dad and they don't amount to anything. What is it? That story is not going to be a bestseller.
You know what I don't talk about? God Forbes. My children used to say God Forbes. When they want to say God forbid, they say God Forbes.
So you see that the way you manage your grief and pain is actually what determines whether your story will become a bestseller. You understand? For me, I feel that my story is a bestseller, and I'm going to tell you why in subsequent videos. But now in this video, listen and get to hear. There's some other thing that I was sharing.
Yeah, you mentioned how to think through the future or expect the unexpected.
Yes, expected or unexpected. Yeah, the people that you feel are very close to you, what you expect from them, you may not get what you expect from them. You understand? Things might just turn around. The economy might just crumble, and you're expecting to have help. So another one is that have a financial growth plan, because one of the pain that you will find in life, whether you need a spouse or you need a companion or you need to do anything or you need to be happy holiday, you need money to do that.
So much money, guys.
So you need to consciously tell yourself, I want to make money. And how do you make money? It is by having a plan of what you can do to give you that money.
And money gives you options, guys. It gives you options even in grief, so that you can clearly take decisions that
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Money can determine whether you go on vacation and you just travel out. Money can determine whether you relocate from a place to another one.
Exactly.
Money can determine whether you change that car or you change that house.
Or
it can determine the food or change the children's school. You understand? I will tell you, for me personally, after the grief, or rather after the loss, finances were going down. After using the money I had to do burial, you know what it means for one person to single-handedly fund a burial. I know how finances came low. Jobs were not really coming as I thought it would come. As an architect, jobs are supposed to be,
and you moved to a new city
I moved to a new city and I wasn't getting a lot of contact. So it was a time of resettling with the children, and I was paying more attention to the family life than the social life, because the social life is actually what would expose you to people. But that was a sacrifice I needed to make, to get the children stabilized. So you need to have a plan, a financial plan. As I say, you must sell something. You must be selling something.
Even my children can give a whole lecture on this now. You can't buy nothing if you're not selling anything.
My children I used to tell them, everywhere we go, they say, buy this, buy this.
Buy.
Buy. You even enter a supermarket and you just want to do window shopping. This one say, buy.
So now they know that, what are we going to sell?
So that
to be able to make money to buy.
So you see, I've given you 4 clear tips on what you need to do when you are going through grief and pain. Thank you so much, baby, for
sharing that. It's you supposed to say thank you very much, baby, for sharing that.
That's what
I'm learning as well. Thank you guys for watching and coming with us. Like usual, you know what to do. Subscribe, tap the notification bell so that you don't miss any video. Go and make sure that you don't keep mute. Share this video, drop comments so that we can know what you think and what else you want us to talk about. Okay, we are going to bring these topics, or rather our topics are going to come back to back. And remember, we are covering all the scope of our experiences around love, marriage, remarriage, dating, parenting, all of that. It's going to get even more interesting here.
Yeah, the next time we'll come around, you're going to get something surprising. So watch out.
Okay, bye.